is up, y'all? Back with another video, man. I feel like this video is long overdue. I actually made that intro to this video like a year ago. You could see it was like snowing outside, but that's how long overdue this video is. But let's get into it, man. How I got into riding motorcycles. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Back out here in these motherfucking streets.
Okay, so in 2015, man, this is when I moved back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin from Texas. But while I was in Texas, one of my good friends, he started riding motorcycles. Now, this caught me way off guard because this dude is like an old school. We the same age, but he always been like real chill, old school, relaxed, just acting like an old man. Then out of nowhere, he just cop a sports bike. So it just caught me way out of left field. So I guess he somehow got his hands on like a moped, one of those ones that you can like ride in the street or whatever, and he enjoyed that, so he wanted some more power. Fast forward a little bit, when I get to Milwaukee, he actually ended up teaching me how to ride the Honda CBR, which was his first bike. Then it was my first bike because he sold it to me, and like that's how I got on the CBR gang. So he ended up teaching me how to ride that bike. And that whole summer, we just had a blast. Everybody, he bought a new bike. I bought his old bike. My cousin ended up getting like a Kawasaki, something like that. And another friend ended up getting, I think he had a CBR as well. It was CBR gang all day. So we just having a blast riding that whole summer. I was definitely a part of that bike life at that time. But that came to a screeching halt. I can't remember what year it was. I don't remember if it was 2015 or 2016. I think it was 2015, my first year riding a bike, that I actually like bust my shit. That was my first and last time falling on a bike. The irony of me falling is that I was actually on the way to the shop to get like some modifications to my bike, and just wrecked it like literally a few blocks away from the actual shop. I mean, it wasn't completely wrecked, but I dropped it pretty bad, man. I was in a four-way intersection. Traffic was real bad. So I'm going this way. It's cars at a red light this way, but the car ahead of me like came to an abrupt stop. So me being inexperienced, I smashed on the back brake, start fishtailing, and just got fell down, got the tumbling and doing all types of cartwheels and stuff like that. Crazy, man. Like going through that experience taught me so much about safety gear, because I had like my helmet on, I had jeans, had on a hoodie, had my gloves on, but all of that got ripped through. Except for my helmet, my gloves was ripped, pants had little skid marks on it and stuff. I was like, damn. And I might have been going like 15, 20 miles an hour, but like, dude, that was crazy. I got back up immediately, got my bike out the street, but like the next day or the next couple days, I was sore as hell. Like I just got into a fight with a sumo wrestler in the telephone booth or something like that. I was just beat up. So low key, that kind of traumatized me, dude, because when you got a sports bike, you attract like a different crowd. We was meeting all this. It was this one dude I met. He was like, yeah, man, what's the fastest you ever been, man? I was just doing 160. And I'm just listening to this dude like, I'm straight. Like, I was never on that. Like, riding my bike around the city was always fun to me, but I never liked going on the highways. I think when I had my sports bike, I never went over 75. I just wasn't comfortable. After you bust your shit on a bike, that's when you got to choose. Like, is this for you, or you'll know. Your time will come, buddy. After that incident happened, that like changed my whole, like, always subconsciously in the back of my head, I was a little bit scared. But even before that incident happened, initially when I started riding bikes, because I never liked the sports bike stance where you kind of like leaning forward and your feet back and stuff like that, I always wanted a cruiser. Like, I would always be like riding around town to see somebody like on a Sportster or a Street Bob or something like that. I'm like, dang, I think that's the type of bike I want. So I remember one day, me and the gang, we went to a dealership, and I seen like it was, I don't know what it was. At that time, those cruisers and stuff, they were all the same to me, whether it was a Harley or a Yamaha or a Suzuki Boulevard, whatever. It was all the same to me in my head because I didn't know nothing about it. So I went to this dealer and I sat on some type of cruiser. I don't know, a V-Star, or I don't know what it was, but I sat on it. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want right here. So I go in the inside, and I think I sat on I think it may have been a Sportster or a Street Bob or something like that. And I'm like, ever since that day, I'm like, yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to get one of these. So fast forward a little bit, I was super about the bike life. Even during the wintertime, I had my bikes parked in my damn front room. The next year, I stopped riding, like, for sure. I think I rode from 2015 to 2017. So it's basically, and we got winter over here, so I rode like pretty much a year. Those 2 years, it was pretty much the summer of 2015, summer 2016, and a little bit of 2017 is when I sold my bike. So that was pretty much a year of complete riding like that. So while I'm living this bike life, my cousin would always say, man, the next bike we get gotta be Harleys. And it's crazy, I'm from Milwaukee. This is where Harley is made. But you never, like, the bike scene, it's crazy how in different states the bike scene is way better than here. Like up in California, that's a bike scene that I would love to be a part of. Everybody pulling off crazy, getting sideways. I want to do that too. So when my cousin would always talk about us getting Harleys, it just didn't register with me. Like, every time I see a Harley over here, it's like an older dude. 9 times out of 10, it's a white dude with a big beard. Or it's just like, it didn't register in my head. The crazy thing is, my other cousin, he found out, this was last summer, my other cousin found out that I used to ride motorcycles. I'm like, yeah, I'm showing him old footage and stuff like that. And I told him, I'm like, yo, if you get a bike and you buy it or whatever, I'll look for you a bike on the Facebook Marketplace or something cheap, a nice little beginner level bike. You buy it, I'll teach you how to ride it. He ended up just talking. He didn't get the bike or anything like that, but it like reinvigorated my interest in bike, and I ended up looking up bikes and going to a dealership, and I actually bought I forget what year. I think it was like a 08, 09 Gixxer, which was kind of like used to be my dream bike. Like, I always wanted a Gixxer. So long story short, I bought a used Gixxer or whatever, and they have to do like specific type of maintenance, like a safety inspection before they release it to you. And long story short, it was something that was wrong with the bike that wasn't worth fixing, so they refunded me my money. And I had a real hard time finding another sports bike. So I'm like, you know what? I always wanted a cruiser. So being that it's in the middle of summer and I'm gonna have a hard time finding these sports bikes, let me get this cruiser out the way, then I'll just double back around. I need something to ride for now, then I'll come back and I'll get the sports bike. So that's when I got the Sportster. Little did I know, dude, I fell in love with that little bike, man. How loud the pipes was, the different type of attention I was getting, the different type of people I was attracting. I'm like, yo, I should have been got a cruiser, though. Like, I fell in love with that bike. So I got that. My cousin that was always preaching about the Harleys, I ended up convincing him to get one, but he was telling me like, no, cuz we got to get the bigger bikes, the touring bikes, the road glides, the street glides. So we went to the dealer together. I sat on the street glide and the road glide, and I'm like, dog, but I even sat on the Softail, and at that time it felt so damn big. I was super intimidated by it. So he ended up getting a road glide, and it was insane. Like, yo, I'm trying to tell y'all, I was on YouTube doing so much research, like how big, because I'm 5'8", 145 pounds, dripping, soaking wet. I'm sitting up here I'm sizing people up like, damn, how big is he? Like trying to figure out if I'm big enough to get on this bike and stuff like that. And don't do that, y'all. Unless you're a tiny person. I understand I'm like a super alpha male. You know, you don't really find people like me, but don't be intimidated, man. At least take you like a motorcycle class or something like that to try their bike out or something. Or maybe if you find somebody nice enough to let you ride the Harley, give it a test ride, man. Don't count yourself out, man. A lot of people can get on these bikes. You just gotta be confident when you hop on. So I was doing a ton of research trying to like build the confidence because these bikes is not inexpensive. These bikes is a pretty penny. So if I'm about to spend $15,000-$20,000 on a bike, I gotta make sure it's for me. So he gets his bike and like we riding around getting a whole bunch of attention, and it's pretty insane because being that this is like the home of Harley, I don't ever see like I still to this day I've only seen two young black dudes on Harleys out here. And that's kind of the appeal. That's kind of why I like it so much, because not a lot of people are doing it. So this is actually crazy. So my first time watching everything regular kind of put me on, it gave me a different perspective, because like I said, when you see Harleys over here, it's always an older dude. 9 times out of 10 they white and they look like Harley riders. So seeing everything regular like that, it was super intriguing, because my first video seeing of him, he crashed in like that parking median or wherever. It was the crash video. So I'm not like the type of person to look this stuff up, but it was in my recommendeds, and the name of the video was like, I wrecked my bike on the first ride or something along the lines of that. So I click on it. I see the dude, and I've never seen a Harley crash before, so I'm like super curious. So I see the dude crash or whatever. Then I see like a part of the video where his foot fly in the air, and I see like a Jordan or something and a black arm. I'm like, what the hell? So I keep watching the video, then I see him. I'm like, damn, he a young black dude just like me. So that like opened my mind to like a whole different world of Harley and stuff like that. So being here, you definitely stand out being young and black on a Harley. Like I said, I've been riding, well, this is my second year, my second year, and I've only seen just two young black dudes, other than the people I know, my cousin and stuff, on Harley. So it's definitely crazy. So I don't wanna keep rambling or nothing like that, but that's basically how I got into motorcycles, man. It was through a friend, and I got into the Harleys through my cousin, and coming across that Everything Regular page, that definitely opened my mind to a whole different like aspect, a whole different side of Harleys, because you would never think like it's, I don't know, it's just super weird. But man, if you are interested in getting a bike, I would highly suggest you do it, no matter what type of bike you like, man. Like, don't get me wrong, I ain't got nothing against sports bikes. I still like sports bikes, not over Harley, but I still do watch sports bikes channels. A dude named Fast Lane D, I watch his channel. I used to watch Max Wrist or something like that. Real, like them people that be going 160 and 180 and stuff. I love to watch it. Would I do it? Hell no. Hey, I appreciate the content. It's very entertaining. So if you on the fence thinking about whether you want to get a bike or not, I would highly suggest you do it, because it is definitely a blast. And it's a lot of good incentives that comes with having a Harley, you dig? You know what I mean, dawg? You know what I mean, dawg?
I was just kidding. Come on.
But anyways, man, that's the end of the video, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, because you know you got to keep the algorithm pumping, or whatever the YouTubers be saying. Like the video, man. Leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. If you ride, let me know what you ride in the comments below. If you interested or ever thought about getting a motorcycle, let me know in the comments below. I do read the comments, and I most likely will respond. So until next time, peace.